guys, Garrett and Cathy with the Grit and Polish, and today we're trying something a little different. Yeah, we decided to do this kind of a vlog, but I hate that word, so we're going to call it a video chat.
Grit and Polish chat.
Yeah, and we're going to answer a reader comment, kind of talk about it a little bit. All right, so the reader question this week came from the last video we did in the comments. Jody asked how we handle rental property maintenance because our rentals are in Seattle and we live in Ellensburg, which is about 2 hours away.
Well, actually, last week was busy for maintenance because we had 2 different calls for leaks at Wallingford House, and we also had a washer machine go kaput, on the fritz at Bryant House. So, and these are 2 hours away, so it's not something that we can just drive by on the way to work or, while we're in town and check on it. But we make it work out because we don't tend to actually have a ton of maintenance calls. One of our philosophies has been to get these houses, redo them, and actually upgrade the heating, upgrade the plumbing, upgrade the electrical. So in that sense, we have nice, hopefully well-functioning products that don't require a lot of those, very common maintenance calls.
Yeah, that's kind of one of our biggest tips if you want to get into landlording, especially if you like old properties like us, is to renovate them before you ever put them on the rental market because, and we actually have lived in all of them too, so.
Which is another nice piece because as soon as anything goes wrong, I know those houses, I know what we did to them, and so I can pretty quickly get to the bottom of what's going on and come up with a good plan.
Yeah, and there's going to be less issues because we fixed them up, but also when things do go wrong, like when there's a leak in a ceiling, Garrett can be like, well, I know exactly what pipe is leaking because I know there's only one pipe right there and I know what it, where it connects and what it goes to because we put that pipe in. So that is actually a really helpful thing as a landlord. And living in a property is even more helpful because no matter how good of a renovation job you did in an old house, there's something that's going to go wrong after you're done with it.
At least when our renovations
At least in our
done.
experience, yeah. So living in it really kind of gets all those kinks out. You figure out any issues with the house after the renovation, any main things that come up or, and seasonal too. Sometimes, you renovate in the summer and then all of a sudden the winter hits and you're like, oh man, this area really needs insulation underneath or, you're going to find out some other things. So having the property for a while before you actually rent it has been super helpful for us.
And another thing about maintenance for us is that we do all the maintenance ourselves. We don't have a maintenance company. We do all
the management and everything.
Yeah, we're managers, maintenancers, tenant screeners. So, I take on all of that stuff and
Garrett takes it on. I used to do a lot more of the Airbnb stuff, but Garrett takes it on because he gets flustered a lot less easily. And so getting those calls at 10 o'clock, that's one thing with landlording is you never know. There's no routine or schedule. So you never know when someone's going to call or when something's going to go wrong. And that stuff stresses me out and it'll, I'm just not as good. And also with the people, Garrett's just really great with people. He has a really great demeanor with our tenants and you're an awesome landlord and I'm just not as good. But I think talk a little bit about your philosophies towards landlording and how you treat tenants.
Yeah, when I view the relationship with the tenant as one of a partnership rather than an antagonistic one where somebody's living in your place and just trying to not take care of it and not pay rent when they need to. If you have a good relationship with the tenant, that's going to make it so much better when you're just coming up on these maintenance issues and end of lease issues and things like that. So I really try to approach it as a mutual respect thing and really respect the tenant and try to make a great product for them to live in and make sure that things are kept up. And that has really worked out well for us because we've probably had 30 or 40 different tenants over the last 10 years, and with maybe one exception, we've had really great people in our places all the time.
We've had really good luck with the properties and maintenance. We've never, with one exception on Airbnb, we haven't really ever had a lot of damage done to a house. Just regular wear and tear. One of our rentals has been a rental for 10 years now.
So how do we actually do the maintenance work? What does that look like? Well, we do go over to Seattle maybe once or twice a month we just know that we're probably going to be over there. It's a good excuse to go over and get some good food,
See
visit some friends.
And we do keep a list on my phone just in notes of stuff that, like, especially minor issues that aren't like have to happen right away.
Like a water leak.
Yeah, a water leak you have to handle it right away. But minor stuff, I keep a note, a list in my notes, and then when we do go over to Seattle, we try to tackle all of them. So we may go over to see like 3 properties when we're over there and try to handle everything at once. So another one of our landlording philosophies is quality over quantity. So we're really trying to keep the number of rentals we have low, but get a high dollar return for each of those rentals.
And that's obviously, that philosophy right there is going to constrain your maintenance issues and the amount of time you have to spend doing those landlording tasks of getting new tenants in,
water leaks,
yeah. all of that stuff that takes up your time as a landlord if you're doing self-management is something that we are cognizant of, and so that's really something that we focus on, is just fewer but higher dollar.
Yeah, so that was a great question. So thanks for asking. And if you guys have more questions about landlording or renovations or anything that we might know about, put them in the comment section in this blog post, and we will try to answer them next time we do a video.